Welcome back to Full Movie Recap. Today I show you a 2010 South Korean war drama film called 71 Into the Fire. Spoilers ahead. The film is inspired by true events which depicts the tragic story of 71 volunteer student soldiers during the Korean War. 5 years after Korea's liberation, North and South Korea separates as the South becomes allies with the US, and the North is influenced by the Soviet Union. The North Korean People's Army makes a surprise attack on the South in the summer of 1950. They successfully seized the city of Seoul in 3 days and the rest in a span of 40 days except for the area on Nakdong River. The beginning of the film displays a war zone in the midst of North Korea's pursuit towards Yongdiok, North Gyeongsang Province. South Korean student soldier Oh Jin is instructed to supply more ammo on the 3rd platoon defending in a store rooftop. He obeys the order, but is seen struggling due to his lack of experience and skill. On the other side, more of the North Korean forces led by Major Park Mut-rang continue to charge closer to Yongdiok. The South Korean forces are given orders to retreat, but Captain Kang Seok-D persists on defending. Capt. Kang commands Lieutenant Kim Jun-seop to back up the 3rd platoon, to which Lt. Kim follows. Around the same time, Jin reaches the store rooftop and hands the ammo to the soldiers. Unfortunately, an explosion blows on the store rooftop right after Jin departs, killing the 3rd platoon. Jin is pulled by Lt. Kim on the side where he is given a grenade. Together with a few remaining soldiers, they rush to avoid the attacks as they fire back a series of gunshots. Jin stays in the corner, consumed by fear and terror while Lt. Kim and the other soldiers shoot. Lt. Kim manages to kill a bunch of the enemies but is shot and stabbed by a lingering North Korean soldier in the process. Jin witnesses this and attempts to shoot, but ends up failing. Another South Korean soldier shoots on his stead. The battle ends with Major Park and his troops reaching Yongdiok and successfully taking over the area as Jin, Lt. Kim, and the remaining soldiers from the South ultimately retreat. Major Park is instructed by their political party leader to go to battle at Nakdong River at once. He goes against this command and plans on going straight to Pohang. Meanwhile in Pohang, Capt. Kang pushes through the commander's order as they blow up the bridge that connects Pohang and Yongdiok, leaving the refugees behind. The truck hailing the barely surviving South Korean soldiers head back to their command post within the Pohang Girls' Middle School. Jin follows closely at the gravely injured Lt. Kim, who is taken to be treated by the medical team but unfortunately dies. Jin is left in guilt-filled tears as Lt. Kim's body is removed from the ward. A nurse comes to his aid and treats his injuries except his ruptured eardrum. Later, Capt. Kang charges into the main office and furiously confronts the commander about the heartbreaking deaths and forced retreats due to the failure of sending backups. The commander then informs Capt. Kang of the shortage of men. There are no longer troops to send as the remaining soldiers are set to defend Nakdong River, which happens to be their last line of defense while awaiting the arrival of their allied forces from the UN. The city of Pohang is left to be defended by a unit of inexperienced student soldiers in their teens. A total of 71 volunteer student soldiers are drafted the next day, one of whom is Koo Kap-jo, a convicted young criminal. The student soldiers are equipped with only a rifle and 250 bullets each. They all form one unit and is divided into 2 platoons. Upon the orientation, Capt. Kang appoints Jin as their captain and instructs them to stand their guard in Pohang while the remaining regular soldiers depart to battle in Nakdong River. The South Korean forces depart immediately along with the medical team. The nurse leaves Jin a box of medication and a few instructions on first aid. At the same time, Major Park and the rest of the North Korean troops are on the move towards Pohang. They arrive at the then blown-up bridge and discuss various ways on crossing the river. Major Park orders the shock team to swim across minimally armed, while the tank unit goes around the mountain. After Capt. Kang and the troops depart, the student soldiers swarm over the box of food supplies and pocket knives. Jin, on the other hand, is still filled with self-doubt on his leadership skills. Nonetheless, he calls the attention of the student soldiers to follow Capt. Kang's orders of burying the dead bodies. Unlike the rest of the student soldiers, Kap-jo refuses. In addition, he shamelessly criticizes Jin authority while picking on his weakness. They train themselves shortly with what is left of their resources, in the midst of the existing tension between Jin and Kap-jo. While resting, Cap Joe and his two mates Wen Pio and Poom Chun hang out by their pantry. They discover an unused grenade and accidentally blow up the entire room, spoiling their food supplies. Cap Joe reassures everyone by telling them that they will find food in compensation, but Janbium stops Cap Joe and orders him to stay out of it. Later that night, Janbium settles in one of the classrooms and begins to write letters to his mother expressing his sentiments and experiences in the war. Right after, he orders the two platoons to go to sleep while two other student soldiers patrol the perimeter of the school. In the middle of the night, a few from the roaming troops of the North Korean forces arrive at the area. The student soldiers messily shoots but manages to kill them. The following day, they come out to the forest to gather more food supplies and other resources. Janbium catches sight of Cap Joe smoking. He quickly rids of the cigarette which agitates Cap Joe. In the middle of their bickering, a North Korean sniper fires a series of shots, killing Wen Pio and a few student soldiers. They then fuming Cap Joe chases on the North Korean sniper, forcing Janbium and the rest of them to follow. The North Korean leads them down the meadows where they are ambushed by a group of North Korean soldiers. They come back to the school, suffering from heavy casualties with 16 deaths, 5 injuries, and 1 missing as one of the student soldiers named Daryum is captured by the North Korean forces. Janbium decides to contact Capt. Kang at the Nakdong River and report their current status in hopes of sending a backup. Simultaneously, the battle at the Nakdong River takes place. The South Korean forces is accompanied by a few U.S. troops while defending against the North. Capt. Kang informs the commander regarding the North's 5th Division's movement towards Pohang and requests backup for the student soldiers. On the other hand, the commander is already decided to sacrifice the student soldiers for the greater cause of defending the Nakdong River. Back at the North Korean camp, Daryun is interrogated by their commander while suffering minor injuries. Major Park witnesses this and shows mercy against the South Korean student soldier. He takes Daryun back to the school with a white flag and confronts their captain Janbium head-on. Major Park informs Janbium that they will attack and capture the school in 2 hours. He offers to spare Janbium's and the rest of the student soldiers' lives in exchange of raising a white flag as a sign of surrendering Pohang. Major Park leaves shortly after to let them decide. At the Nakdong River, Capt. Kang successfully convinces their commander to send at least 10 men, including him, to provide backup to the student soldiers. Together, they consult the commander of the U.S. troops but regrettably tells them that there is also a shortage of their troops in Nakdong River and that they do not have a troop to spare. On another note, the U.S. commander gives them the new line of super bazookas that they can use to stop the North Korean tanks. Capt. Kang immediately prepares to head back to Pohang. Major Park patiently waits until noon before commencing the attacks. He orders their forces to set up a line of defense 1 km from the school but without firing. Across them, the South Korean student soldiers boldly prepare to fight against the North's 5th Division, with their South Korean national flag raised proudly on the flagpole of the school. Just then, Janbium informs everyone that Capt. Kang is on his way and they only have to hold out for 1 hour. He overcomes his doubt and raises his voice, as he successfully boosts the morale of his comrades. In the forest, Cap Joe and Chang-woo are seen approaching a North Korean supply truck with 2 struggling North Korean student soldiers. Cap Joe and Chang-woo introduce themselves as comrades and help them push the truck out of the slippery mud. Cap Joe suspiciously eyes the weapons and supplies inside the truck, attempting a steal. As the North's 5th Division charges closer, the South Korean student soldiers settle at their positions. The 1st platoon is in charge of firing cannons from the ground level, and the 2nd platoon shoots from the 2nd floor. The continuous explosions anger Major Park, leading him to order an all-out attack against the South student soldiers. He commands his troops to kill every one of them for returning bombs in exchange to his mercy. The battle in Pohang formally commences as the North Korean forces rush towards the school. They wait for Janbium's signal before disarming the pins of the planted grenades, enough to cause a big explosion as the North Korean forces further approach. The 1st platoon follows up with their guns, firing against the enemy forces with their remaining bullets in a now more orderly manner. The 2nd platoon shoots right after, inflicting damage upon their enemies. On the other hand, the North begins to put more pressure. Their tank unit fires continuously, hitting the school building and killing more student soldiers. One of the student soldiers bravely takes the grenades and runs into the North Korean tank, to which he successfully blows it up along with him. Janbyum orders his remaining comrades to retreat inside the school as more North Korean tanks arrive. Just when he is out of bullets, Cap Jo and Chang-woo appear on site driving the stolen truck filled with weapons. Janbyum takes some of the ammo and fires away while the other student soldiers place the other weapons on the rooftop. They all scatter around the halls of the building as the North Korean forces advance inside the school. Janbyum and Cap Jo momentarily retreat in one of the classrooms. They briefly tend to their injuries and continue with their banter, where Janbyum learns that Cap Jo never became a student. After a short conversation, they settle their differences and are finally able to encourage each other. The two get back to battle soon enough as they tirelessly shoot the North Korean soldiers. Cap Jo, while about to get shot from behind, is defended by their comrade Chang-woo, who takes the shots in his place. Enraged, Cap Jo utters a loud cry before shooting more enemies mercilessly. He and Janbyum strive to reach the school's rooftop as fast as they can. The remaining student soldiers follow to the stairs with gas containers and petrol bombs in hand, but are woefully shot by the surrounding North Korean soldiers. Amidst the circumstances, one student soldier makes it in time to pour the gasoline down the stairs and burn a large area of the halls. Capt. Kang and their backup troops approaches the area and sights the ongoing battle in the school. He fires the bazooka on one of the North's tanks and disables it. Major Park and the commander discover the presence of another enemy troop. The North Korean commander proceeds on criticizing Major Park and calling him a traitor for his shortcomings. Major Park reaches his limit, finally killing the commander after him having questioned his authority several times. The seemingly countless North Korean soldiers force their way up the school's rooftop. Cap Jo and Janbyum, who were the only ones to reach the area, gun down each and every enemy approaching from all directions. They fight with utmost effort and passion, able to skillfully kill a large number of the North Korean forces. More importantly, they manage to work together in sync during the most crucial time. Janbyum and Cap Jo make use of the weapons they stole from shotguns to the machine gun, whilst switching places when necessary. Right at the same time, Capt. Ken and the few South Korean reinforcements arrive on scene. They shoot the lingering enemies on the school grounds and triumphantly destroys the remaining tanks. Capt. Ken finds Janbyum handling the machine gun up the rooftop and goes to him. Major Park, who is already inside the school building, roams around the halls to further gun down the student soldiers, making certain their death. In consequence to Cap Jo and Janbyum's strong resistance, however, they both suffer from extreme exhaustion and severe injuries all over their bodies. Cap Jo is shot several times by the last few enemies that came into which Janbyum kills. They fall on their knees as if almost completely drained. Just as they thought the battle has ended, Major Park arrives on the rooftop. Janbyum sees him appear behind Cap Jo, a stun evident on his face. He witnesses Cap Jo being shot to death, leaving him in tears. Major Park makes his way closer to Janbyum, where they face each other as captains once again. He dwells smugly on Janbyum's misfortune for being born in the South. In the middle of his gloating, Janbyum silently loads his rifle with the bullet that he has long been holding to. He shoots Major Park at the same time Major Park shoots him. Capt. Kang arrives on time to kill Major Park before he shoots Janbyum again. Capt. Kang slowly walks towards Janbyum, deeply hurt and sorry from seeing his dying state. The two stares at each other as Capt. Kang later comforts him with an embrace. Janbyum displays his relief at the sight of Capt. Kang. He brings out his suppressed emotions and weeps in his final moments. Janbyum eventually loses consciousness, with bloodied hands releasing the firm grip on the handwritten letters for his mother, and dies in the arms of Capt. Kang. Capt. Kang in return embraces him tighter, mumbling his apologies to Janbyum repeatedly while he bursts into tears. The film comes to an end with a flashback on the day the regular South Korean troops depart for the battle in Nakdong River. An army photographer gathers the 71 volunteer student soldiers for a group picture before officially starting their mission. It is later reported that 48 out of the 71 student soldiers died with honor while standing their guard at the Pohang Middle Girls' School on August 11, 1950. Video footages of the surviving student soldier veterans of this battle in Pohang are revealed as they look back on their experiences and remember their comrades who had passed.